Hello there. Thanks for watching or listening to VIP Boxing's Bell to Bell podcast. We're back after about 3-4 weeks off for Christmas, New Year. Bell to Bell now is on episode 141. You're watching on YouTube. Please leave a review. Listening on iTunes or Spotify. Say what you want about us. We're not bothered. We got rhino skin. We're a bit like that Lee Hogan. Nothing bothers us. We just, focus and go forward. Don't we, Woody? Anyway, I've introduced you our first guest, Steve Wood, Mr. VIP. He always comes on the first show after Christmas. And of course, in our top corner there, the man who scribbles for various websites, and you see his words almost daily on Boxing Scene, John Evans. Thanks very much for joining us, Steve and John. Good to see your face again, mate, after a few weeks.
Yeah, listen, it's good to be back. I worked all over Christmas and the New Year, and I just flew back in from Portugal this morning. First thing to do was try and work out what shows we've got going so they can talk about on the Bell to Bell tonight. So once John says his hellos, we can maybe start with a few of the shows, mate.
I've got one question, Steve. It's a $64 million question. When I talk about you to various promoters I do bits work, they say, how's Woody? And I always tell them your work ethic, right? Tell me this. Did you have a day off over Christmas from engineering or boxing where you didn't go into your office?
Christmas Day was the only day I wasn't in the office, mate, yeah.
Incredible. So this year's a leap year, I think. So you'll be working a 365-day year this year with the leap year if you're having Christmas Day off.
Showing him his other day, yeah.
I tell you what, I bet you'd love to get your staff in Christmas Day, wouldn't you, Woodstock?
We'll just do the easy 5 in the morning. You can go home at dinner.
Have you had a good break, John, or you kept busy with Boxing Scene over Christmas?
Yeah, but not stopped. Christmas Day was the only day I didn't do anything, and in the factory on and off all the time as well, making sure it's still standing. So yeah, not all part-time like you, Lillis.
Oh, mate, come on. That's not fair. I don't mind a bit of graft. Woody knows that.
Listen, now he's matchmaking for everyone in the country. He's working harder than me and you, pal.
Oh, mate, the stresses of it, mate. The stresses of it. But it is. It's good. It's all right.
Sweep on when you're going to have the heart attack like everyone else.
Hey, you know what my missus says, that you're going to keel over one day when his phone's ringing at 10 o'clock at night and stuff. Yeah. But it's, you know.
You'll have finished the run in Spain, all hot and sweaty, got in the bath, puff, you think you've had electric shock, you'll be laid there. The missus will be cashing the insurance in, mate, yeah?
I'd like to bet on which is the last name in the phone records before the heart attack. Who causes it?
Oh, mate. I'm not going to say, but there you go, mate. Anyway, we better talk about some great shows on, mate. Well, I'll say they're great, and they are, because there's a lot of title fights, and there's a Blackpool card on March 9, John, and you've got to try and get there when you're here. 3 of the fights on there. Steve, so what's happening in the world of VIP boxing for the start of 2024?
Yeah, well, obviously, we've got Jack Cullen out on the 20th of January on the Sky Show, boxer at Liverpool, and he's defending his British and Commonwealth against Zach Chelly, and they boxed the draw before. So, I mean, that's a real top fight, you know, and people are looking into his stablemate, beating quite easily Mark Jeffers last time, and thinking it'd be the same for Jack, but it won't be, because, like, that's a completely different style of fighter, and he was put on Zach Chelly last minute, and I think because he knew nothing about him, he probably took him easy. He knows it's his last big chance, Zach Chelly, so he'll be right up for it. And Jack is as well, so you know we're expecting Jack to win, but it's going to be a great fight, that. So that's happening. And then when we kick into our own shows, Steve, and obviously with you matchmaking, you know most of what's going on. The first one's February the 17th in Liverpool, and we've got a great top of the building there. They fought before, and he was actually eliminated for the central area. And Jake Barton and Leon Williams now are going to fight for the vacant one. And obviously, Leon Williams won that in a convincing knockout. But the 2 rounds before, you know, they were both wobbling, and I think they'll have great experience from fighting each other think it was about 7 months ago that, and it's going to be a barnstormer. And again, any one of them can go, and I don't expect it to go the full 10 rounds. So that's a great card. We've added on Matthew Rennie just today. He's had the great performance against James Moorcroft on the Channel 5 show, and then we've got some debutants and then some prospects: Ryan Dickens, Jamie Devine, and Alex Patterson. So as well as like the two debutants, it's not a bad card to start with.
And then March the 2nd. I mean, that's a great. I mean, the first fight between Leon Willings and Jake Barton, Steve, 30 seconds before the knockout, you'd have had your life on Barton winning it.
Yeah. Do you see that one, John?
Yeah, it's a great fight, weren't it? Great fight. Just a quick one, Steve. Rennie's always been. I've always been frustrated by Rennie. He's never quite done it, has he? Never quite done it. But against Moorcroft, he was brilliant, weren't he? That's what Matthew Rennie can do. What are your hopes for Rennie? Where do you think he can get to this year?
Well, do you know what? We've got to find out, haven't we, and put him in a fight on the TV, and that was the intentions. But unfortunately, I've had no one coming through with him, and he's always in the gym. You know what I mean? He's moved from the Isle of Man to dedicate himself to being a professional boxer, and so it was a question of, well, you know, there's a slot here for you, Matty. Do you want to jump on it? And he has done, and it's just to kind of keep him active while we wait for that opportunity. And I think the main thing out of that performance last time was the fact that he's gone up from light welter to welter, and it's made a big difference for him. You know, he said being drained, he's kind of grown into a welterweight, and there's some good fights out there for him. It's just a question of me like grafting now with the TV promoters to get him that opportunity. So I'm expecting he's going to get into title positions this year.
Steve, we then move on to March the 2nd, and a fight that was announced a couple of days ago. Commonwealth Super Welterweight eliminator Jack Flatley and Ryan Amos.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but be a good fight, that, can it? And that's one thing we've been talking about, Steve, isn't it? That we want to get some good top of the bills on our shows this year, which will help the undercard lads sell the tickets, knowing that it's not just coming to watch them, but they're going to stay and watch a good fight at the end of the night. And hopefully we've done that, and we'll see the venues packed out and bouncing, and not, you know, just early doors when the young debutants are on who sold the tickets, but everyone will stay and watch the good fights. And I'd say Flatley and Ryan Amos, they both had opportunities before, haven't they? Ryan obviously got beat when he fought Justin Benaid, or whatever he's called.
Yeah, Boston,
yeah, on his own show. But you know, Flatley's won and lost a few, hasn't he? And he's coming off the back of a good win, and to be fair about it, he's found a sponsor to pay for the eliminators. So it's a great opportunity for him to get back into title things, and he's training with Martin Money now. He's got a bit of a new freshness about him. I believe he's going abroad for a few weeks to spar with Jack McGann and get ready. So it's going to be a real good fight. And as I say, we've got a lot of boxers on there. Just added Travis Waters on, who's on a roll up in Newcastle, Sunderland, and that's going to be a pack now. You know, Joe Howard's on it, so good show.
Yeah, and we then go to what's a great show in Blackpool. Central Area welterweight Will Galloway, Goldie, Jamie Mellors. Heavyweight fight between two unbeaten heavyweights, Kevin Mazaraki and Lewis Wright, and a great 8-rounder, Jake Abril and Josh Sanford. Yeah,
you've done well there, Steve, haven't you? I mean, the top of the bill, Will Galloway, obviously, he's come from kickboxing. He's not had a load of pro fights, but you know, he's one of those who's always been pushing for fights. And him v Jamie Mellors is a genuine 50-50, both unbeaten kids, and to win the Central Area will mean the world to them. And obviously for Will to try and win it in his hometown of Blackpool, it's a big thing for him. And then Jake Abril, chief support against Josh Sanford over 8 rounds. It's a great fight. Sanford's come up and shot that Joe Howarth up here, hasn't he? So, he's confident of doing it. And, Jake's in the position now. He's got to go and make a statement and look really good against Josh. And I expect him to do it. And then Louis Wright stepping up to a 6-rounder, and Kevin Mazaraka, who had a good knockout win on one of our shows the other week, has challenged him really. So it's great. Again, 2 unbeaten kids early on in their careers, putting it on the line against each other. And with a talent on the undercard, Levi Barnes, Thomas Vera, bringing a couple of the Sunderland lads down, Adam Rycard and Bo Smith. We've still got Tyrone Boyne Price and Jackson Hume from Blackpool. So I'm expecting a packed night and a very eventful night and some real good fights, Steve. And we're going to find out how good some of these kids are.
Yeah. John, I'll ask you, Jake Abril, Josh Sanford, that's your type of fight, isn't it?
Cracker, isn't it? I know Sanford looked good against Joe Howarth, didn't he? But he lost last time, didn't he? So he's going to be... Did he lose to that McGovern?
Yeah, he lost, but apparently he fought really well. They were really pleased with him, but he just can't do that weight anymore. So that they're having to move. He's moving up to super welterweight. He's just become too much of a struggle doing lightweight for him.
Yeah, and he's going to be desperate to win, isn't he? He's going to come down desperate to win, knowing he's got to. So, I like Abril.
And the good thing about it is when I rang both teams, Ian Wilson took it straight away. And Andy Abril replied to my WhatsApp within about 10 seconds saying, love it, we'll have that. So they both fancy it. It's a brilliant fight.
Well, that's good for Abril, isn't it? Because it's like a form gauge against Howarth.
Yeah.
So getting the crystal ball out, Steve, what a fight that could be a little bit down the line. I don't know if it'd be on one of your shows, but Abril and Howarth.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe's going to be staying at lightweight, whereas he's at lightweight. Yeah, but if he did go up to 10 stone... them 2 going at it would be one for the punters, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then March 23rd, we'll just run through these. There's a couple other things I want to talk to you about. Jake Harrison, Logan Richardson, Central Area title in Liverpool, Steve.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's a good top of the bill, isn't it? 2 undefeated fighters there, and both desperate. One, as in Jake, wants to hold on to the Central Area title, and it won't be long from in my eyes that he's challenging for the English and the British. I think he's that good, and Logan's undefeated, and it's a big step up for him. But he knows that, and his game is a badger, and he's tough. I've seen him; all his fights have been on our show, so he's going to. Have a right go, Jake. I think Jake's going to be too good and too experienced for him, but I think it'll be a good fight. And then we've got the rematch, I think, haven't we, with Brian Collins against the guy who
Kunis,
as well as Ben Berman and a few other young prospects going on there. So again, great top of the bill and a good undercard. And it's not the biggest of venues, the Grand Central, so. It'll be packed and the atmosphere is great. Every seat's a good seat there, and virtually sat on top of the ring. So a good one again to get on with. Yeah.
I mean, Steve, you're going back to Bolton. You and Lennox Lithgow's on that bill. What's interesting? Mark Leach top of the bill. Is it? It really is the last assault now for Mark, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've penciled Mark in for that one because I can't see anything happening. I mean, I wrote to the board because he can do bantam and super bantam, and he wants another opportunity. So I penciled him in there, thinking if he can't get on a TV show, we'll get him some sort of eliminator on there and move him in. So we basically had 27 kids wanting to get on our Bolton show on the 2nd of March and couldn't accommodate him. So I've had to put another date in the diary, only today, as you know, and probably do a little bit more jigging around on that one to see where we get to. But so the first 4 are done. What we're getting into now in April, we say we've got the new one there at Bolton, and then we've got a show up in Sunderland at the end of April, which again it's got a good top of the bill in an area title, not VIP kids, but Jordan Ellison's been on many of our shows as opponent, a game opponent, and won a few upsets. And Tommy Hodgson, who boxed for us up there last time, sells a bundle of tickets. So they'll top that bill. And all my, what do they call them? Mackhams, they call them, don't they?
Yeah. Sunderland fighters. Adam Reichardt, Bo Smith, Travis Walters. And there's a kid on there, Connor Sams. I know he's not with you, Steve, but he's going on the show. He was a top amateur.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's going to be his debut as well. So looking forward to watching him. And we've got a couple of slots there, so I'll be in touch with the Mackhams and Geordies that we know up there to see who else wants to go on the show. But it's a good positive start to the season, and I'm really looking forward to it because as much as how hard it is to get all these shows put together and match. So it's nice that, and I'm touching wood here, that we've got some top of the bills. Let's just hope they all stand up, and the other kids who we're expecting to go on and eventually top bills perform like we hope they do.
They never disappoint, do they? When you get a top of the bill like that for an area title or something, the brilliant fights every single time. So if people do come along and stick around for the main event, they see a great fight, they're going to come back, aren't they? The area titles in English might be my favourites to watch.
No, I love it. You know what I like? There's some great fights. That Blackpool card, it deserves a big crowd in there that night, Steve. That, there's not a really good house in there. You got as a promoter entitled to be disappointed if it's not back. But what I like is we're in an era where a lot of fighters just don't want to fight anybody. And I look at someone like Logan Richardson. He's had 3 fights and he just took the Jake Harrison fight.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of kids who turned down. There's nothing to lose, and they know when kids are like that, if it doesn't go right, you'll go the extra bit to bring them back for the win because they've done that and jumped in too early.
Yeah. Listen, Steve, it's refreshing, hasn't it? We've had many years where you're pulling your hair out that the kids won't have it, but now with the expense of bringing the foreigners in and the number of home fighters in the UK. It's so hard to match. I'm just getting this little feeling now that they realise they've got to take opportunities, and really, truthfully, that's what they're in the game for, because no one's making any money out of it, and they're not going to do till they get to an higher level. So, try and aim for that higher level. And what I find out, and you can just see it by the number of people who's had losses and come back and won titles, is if they stick at it and have lost in just a bit of a tough fight, which was close, they're going to be better fighters anyway. So, I'm certainly of the opinion that we should be able to make a lot more fights a bit easier this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right. Well, that was great. Thanks for going through that for us, Steve. It's taken up a huge chunk of the time we've got for this pod, but just a couple other topics to touch on. One you wanted to touch on, Steve. Saudi, what is it you wanted to say about it? You mentioned that as a possible topic today.
No, thinking when I was over there in Portugal, it's come out like Tyson Fury for fighting Ngannou or whatever.
No, Joshua's fighting on Ngannou.
Sorry, yeah, Joshua, Tyson fought him last time, didn't he? And everyone was laughing at the time, saying, "Oh, he's fighting someone who's making his debut and he's the champion of the world." Well, now he's fighting someone who's got a 0-1 record.
Yeah, but
and they're making millions, and everyone who says it shouldn't be happening, put it in their shoes or the promoter's shoes, and you can't turn that sort of money down. And it's a fun fight still, isn't it? And I'm just saying, like, Saudi's kind of brought a freshness to the sport at the top level that
a lot of money
that's been missing. Yeah. And I'm just saying it's great, and we don't know how long it's going to continue, but while it does, whoever's making the money out of it and getting the opportunities, great. And they put their lives at the risk, don't they? So it's good, and let's hope it's not just heavyweights. Let's hope they get some for the smaller lads there. I mean, the talk of Cardina going on there.
Yeah, that's right.
It'd be nice if those smaller weight kids who don't get as paid as much get a tickle out of it. And as I say, I just hope it lasts.
Yeah, well, while it does last, they're going to get rich. But they maybe with Joshua Ngannou, apart from Joshua fighting Fury, the biggest and most lucrative pay-per-view out there for him out of everything was Ngannou. As much as you want to, part of the improved Joe Parker and other fights, Ngannou was made the most financial sense. So it just says where the sport's going. But look, I've got no problem with everyone going out there. I tell you what, I bet you would like to have a bit of that, Steve. They said Woods to get out to Saudi Arabia.
No, it's great, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll move on from our last 10 minutes here. Woody don't pay us the $5.99 a month at VIP here for their podcast to go beyond 40 minutes. So anyway, John, you want to talk about Ohara Davies?
Yeah, my God. Yeah, it couldn't have gone any worse, could it? How long's Ohara been waiting for an opportunity? It's been years and years, hasn't it? He was hated and he sort of reinvented himself, and he had a razor type one with Jack Catterall, but Taylor got rid of him, and it looked like everything was going right for him. Golden Boy got behind him, didn't they? Signed him up, and he had a plan when he won the fight, who his next fight was going to be. He didn't land a punch and got took out in a round. It couldn't have gone any worse for Ohara Davies, could it?
And what?
I can't think of a worse American debut.
No, when you're talking about Golden Boy, had plans for him, and obviously they thought it was a foregone conclusion, and they probably didn't know much about Ohara Davies. But whatever they did know, they wasn't expecting that, was they? And I know Barroza from fighting Anthony Croller, and he was an old man then. And to be fair, Anthony was a tough kid, wasn't he? And he took the sting out of him by being beat up for 4 or 5 rounds before he eventually stopped him with a body shot. And so, I think, and it happens a lot, and people don't learn by it, is he just took it too easy, thought he was going to beat him, was a bit... Certainly that first round when you're fighting a punch, you should be tight, shouldn't you? And nothing silly. And, he caught for the big left hook, and he'd gone from that, and then down the second time. I thought the ref could have let him carry on, but he was right in front of him, wasn't he? And he asked him if he wanted to carry on. He must have seen something in his eyes. But yeah, like you say, disastrous night for him, and I can't see him spending any money bringing him back, Golden Boy.
No, I mean the thing of it is, there's a lot of the defence, people around him. You've got to have a defence. Was that he was caught cold? But I've only seen the clips of the knockdown. I haven't seen the previous minute or whatever. But it looked to me like the way he was circling the ring, he walked into that right hand as much as anything himself.
Yeah, it was just
the left hand. Sorry,
he was just slow, weren't he, Steve? His feet were slow. He looked very casual about it all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Getting caught cold is someone walking out and sticking one on you before you've even.
I know caught cold's one thing, but for your biggest fight of your life, don't get caught cold.
Yeah, anything against the puncher. The first round, you stay tight, so you feel the power, you feel it on your hands, on your gloves, so you know what could be coming at you, and then you go from there.
Don't give him the opportunity to catch you cold.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys seen the poster. I seen it a couple of days before, and everyone was laughing at how old Barroza looked. He did look like a 60-year-old man, but Ohara Davies looked really, really old on it as well. I don't know if he's got old overnight or something. I don't know, but he might have been the poster. I don't know, but they look like two old men. Yeah.
So just one more topic before we all vanish for this week. Any unknown stars you think could emerge this year who aren't maybe on the pedestal they should be now?
Are we just going off what we know?
Yeah, what you know. Anyone? I mean, I'll go for one of Steve's fighters, Levi Barnes, because Steve knows how sold I am on him. Absolutely sold. I was talking to someone today about him who didn't want to know him, and they made a point about he's not stopping people, but everyone he's fought, they'd watched him, they've been banged up, which is a fair point. And you know what? I know I'm not the biggest female boxing fan or the most knowledgeable on it. I think Dee Allen, how she hasn't been signed by a major promoter is beyond me. On her debut, she went and beat a girl in about 30 seconds who just went 4 or 5 rounds with Caroline Dubois. She won the European welterweight title in France. I just think she's a really good fighter. Really good.
A girl who flattens people.
Yeah, and she's been ignored. She's ignored, you know. She's pretty much ignored. No one knows her. She's a terrific fighter, the Allen. And, you know, she's the best kept secret in British boxing. It's criminal she hasn't got a deal with all this money that's, you know, sloshing around for female fighters. And good luck to them. But she deserves a share of that pie.
Yeah, I was going to say Levi Barnes. Nelson Birchall's going to be good, isn't he, with the Jennings? You
Yeah.
know, that a lot of people know about him, though, don't we? So he's not unknown. The other one, again, a lot of people know about him, but he's been under the radar. If you saw Jack Rafferty take out Lee Appleyard in a round just before Christmas, I think it's going to go for Jack Rafferty this year. But yeah, there's loads of talent in the Northwest, isn't there? And Levi might be one of them. When the rounds get longer, he does start taking people out.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not building my lads up, Steve. It'll end up hard for you to match him. So
Yeah.
everyone.
Hey, no, hey, you try matching him to Blackpool, mate, at the moment.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, while we're just on things, I know it was an early stop with Ortez on Saturday night, but the talk of him and Tim Tszyu fighting, that gets your mouth watering.
I tell you what, and they both seem to want it, the way they're exchanging words. They're not saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. They're both saying, right, you're a man, I'm a man, we're doing this. That's proper.
That's fight of the year, that.
Yeah, I've now got confidence that because the way they're talking, instead of just slaughtering and dissing the other one, which there's plenty of time to do that, they're talking now like, I knew you was a man beforehand. Let's just have it. Proper men.
Right away, it's fight of the year, no doubt. No doubt. Tim Tszyu's not going to box, is he? And Virgil Ortiz definitely isn't going to box. So that is fight of the year.
Yeah. Who would you fancy in it?
Tim Tszyu.
Tim Tszyu, yeah. Tim Tszyu fan club, aren't we, Steve?
Yeah, he won't have a word. Tim Tszyu was on this podcast, mate. But Tim Tszyu, we were talking Tim on this podcast, mate, before Tszyu retired. That's how much. That's how we were on Tim Tszyu when he was 3 years of age.
Steve got his picture with him when Costi came over to fight Ricky.
Fellas, we're running out of time. Is there anything you want to add, Woody, before you vanish for the night?
I'm going to get home and watch United. I've given me ticket up tonight because I've got an early start out selling tomorrow. So I've given me ticket up. I'm going to watch him on the box. We can't lose tonight, surely.
Well, against Wigan. I thought, is that Wigan or is it Man U?
It's at Wigan, but I was going to go, but I've given my ticket away this morning. I'm just under pressure, mate,
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready for Fulham's big week. Liverpool away on Wednesday and the biggest game of the season, Chelsea away on Saturday.
None of them match Oldham beating Dorking on Saturday.
Yeah,
the promotion runs fully in flight now.
And the Dorking chairman putting 500 quid behind the bar for him. What a star he is.
Dorking's... He owns it. He's the chairman. He's the manager, and he's got promoted 9 times in 10 years.
Didn't he turn up at Oldham last year for some fat supporters club night?
Yeah, he goes to all the Oldham because he goes to all the Oldham supporters events. But he's a real top fella.
Yeah, true, real character. Anyway, fellas, thanks very much. Woody, you get home and watch United get knocked out the FA Cup in the 3rd round, and then see your manager get sacked tomorrow. John, you get scribbling for boxing scene tonight, whatever you're doing, and I'm going to go and watch the football and see you.
I'll make you some matches. I'm going to be sending you some new ones.
I made a few. I'll give you a shout in the morning, Steve. There's a couple here I've done.
Yeah, make it after dinner because I'm out early.
I'll wait till 6 tomorrow night anyway. See you later.
No problem. See you, boys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For all boxing, info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.